Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy back again with a new video. I hope you guys enjoy. Today, we're going to go through my NFL fantasy team and how we went over the weekend. We actually went really well as well. I can't believe my first season of content creation on NFL fantasy has gone this well. But today, going into the video, we'll go out my top performers of the weekend, my lowest performers of the weekend, and then roll into how we're going to look for the next week. So if you enjoy this sort of content, like and subscribe. And let's get into the video. So before we get into our players, the Boogie Squad come away with another win. Yes, guys, it's been amazing. 129.66 versus 127.38 with Team LeMoney. Team LeMoney ended up with 2-2 now and third in the Western Division. Your boy is sitting at top of the Western Division 4-0. So it's been an amazing year for me with fantasy football. The team that I've selected, all the boys are really stepping up in that. And I've got a couple of key pieces I can switch in and out depending on matchup. So it's kind of where you want to be sitting in fantasy football. I do think maybe a little bit later on we'll come down to waivers and stuff like that. Maybe look what the market's saying and see if we get any sort of trade talks and stuff. At the moment, I don't think I have one trade talk, which is, you know, crazy. I try to keep some pieces down below. So if boys want some trade in that, I'll look at the value of the pieces that they want, and then we'll go through that way. But top performers, we have, first of all, we'll talk about big man Patty Mahomes. So Patty Mahomes with 33.3 fantasy points, ended the game with 250 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception against a really good Tampa Bay Buccaneers team and defense. Patty and the Kansas City Chiefs just looked amazing in that game, honestly. 41-31 ended up being the finishing score. And even Tom Brady probably had a decent day out as well. So, but the game was pretty much locked, sealed, and delivered. It just became a shootout at the end there, where basically as soon as Tampa would put some points on the board, Patty would just take his team, go all the way to the other end of the field and put some points on the board. So great game for Patty Mahomes. The Kansas City Chiefs, again, one of the best teams in the comp. Next biggest performer, we have Tyreek Hill. So Tyreek Hill ended the game with 10 receptions, 160 yards in their loss against Cincinnati. Obviously, the big talking point in that game was Tua Tagovailoa out with injury, especially coming off his head knock from the week before. It's crazy that he even got to play. But, you know, Tyreek, to do that with a second choice quarterback for pretty much, I think, 60% of the game, something like that. You know, really well done. He's a great player, just all speed. Those Dolphins receivers at the moment, you got friggin' Waddle and him on the other side. It's just crazy. Next biggest performer, we got Nick Chubb with 20.7 fantasy points. He has been amazing for me this year. Ended the game with 118 yards and a touchdown. I'm pretty sure stats-wise, he is leading the league in touchdowns, which is amazing for a guy that I picked up a little bit later in the rounds there. I think he's just slept on a little bit, and especially in that Cleveland Browns team, they haven't got anyone else other than Amari Cooper or whatever to throw to. So really, it comes down to their running game, and their running game with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb has been crazy. A couple other pieces I want to talk about. Devontae Adams actually getting 19.5 points. Great game from him. Not amazing game. I still think he needs a bit more receptions and be put in the better positions. But ending the game here with 9 receptions, 101 yards. Not able to snag a touchdown in this one, but Devontae is just a classy wide receiver. Possibly top 5 receiver in the comp. Definitely last year he was like #1 receiver in the comp. He's an amazing player. It's good to have him in my squad. And Khalil Herbert with 11.1 fantasy points for his second start ever. Finished the game with 77 yards. Really good work from Khalil. He's been really good for us. Couple of low performers here. We got Darren Waller with 5.4 fantasy points. Ended the game with only 24 yards with 3 receptions. I know that at the moment the Raiders are still trying to figure out where they're going to get the ball to and all that sort of stuff. So that's pretty unfortunate. Devontae Smith, who I put into flex this week, I probably should have kept Juju in there, but I'm thinking of keeping Devontae anyway. Against Jacksonville, that game was a bit of a weird game. Finishing the game with 3 receptions and 17 yards. He didn't really get it that much. AJ Brown got a lot of receptions there. But again, Philly a 4-0 start, so I can't really complain Philly-wise. But, you know, I just want Devontae to get a bit more hands on the ball because he has been really good the last couple of weeks. So it is what it is. And finishing, you know, Chargers defense with 8 points. Actually really decent there. But, you know, coming up against a 49ers defense that end up with 22 points in their amazing win against the Rams. I actually picked the Rams to probably win it in that one, especially by betting odds. I thought the Rams were, you know, for be outsiders like that was crazy. But the 49ers just, you know, egg on my face, man. They were crazy. They were really good in this one. Coming down to the bench, not really much to write home about. Travis Etienne Jr. with 3.2 fantasy points. Juju actually getting a decent game with 9.6 fantasy points. Derek Carr with 11.5 fantasy points, not too bad there. He's obviously my second choice quarterback just in case anything goes wrong with Paddy, but at the moment Paddy has been killing it. All right, and lastly, boys, we got our next game coming up in game week 5. We are versing the Black and Gold Forever. They are 0-4 in the Western Division at the moment. Projected points 108, so hopefully we go really well against them. They got a couple of really nice pieces, as in a Derrick Henry, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a really, really good player in my opinion. Kareem Hunt, George Kittle, just a lot of players that are big names in that, but are just not getting those fantasy returns at the moment. Coming to my side, this is how we're going to look for the weekend. I didn't really want to change too much of my team. I think we come in very, very nicely here, especially with the matchups we've got. Patty Mahomes has got Las Vegas. I expect Patty to go really, really bonkers against Las Vegas. Las Vegas got an okay defense, more so running defense than that. Crosby can become like a quarterback attacker, but he's not really finishing too many tackles. He is starting a lot of it, but he's not finishing them enough. Nick Chubb against the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers defense is actually going to be really tough for Nick Chubb here, but as I said again, it's the only way for Cleveland to get through is through their running game and then open up Amari, but the Chargers are a really, really good defensive team. Moving on to Khalil Herbert against Minnesota. I feel like he's going to have a lot of running opportunities against Minnesota. Our other player we could get against is Etienne Jr. But against Houston, I feel like they're going to keep using him and James Robinson back and forth together. I feel like Khalil Herbert's spot at the moment is still a little bit more nailed on for more rushing and all that sort of stuff. So it is what it is there. Devontae against Kansas City. Hopefully they get some good passing opportunities against Kansas City there for Devontae. Tyreek against New York Jets. That's going to be a really decent matchup for Tyreek. Hopefully he gets some really nice returns there. Derek Waller against Kansas City. As we said before, Kansas City. Devontae Smith against Arizona should be a really good matchup for Devontae, especially the way Arizona has been really up and down at the moment. My freaking Panthers obviously know this. Panthers nearly had that and yeah, we just let it go at the end there. We're not looking like a good outfit at the moment. Chargers defense against Cleveland. I believe Chargers defense is just going to really run over Cleveland at the moment, especially. We could go Ravens defense against Cincinnati because Cincinnati have been very risky with their pass options and stuff like that. We could get a couple of interceptions there. But Cleveland have just been a real up and down team at the moment. I think rushing is mainly the way they go about things. So the Chargers defense should hold up there. And Tyler Bass is going to be my kicker. He is my kicker no matter what. So it is what it is. So yeah, guys, if you enjoy this sort of stuff, please like and subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts on the team, who you think is going to go really well this weekend. Stay tuned. Hit the notification bell if you want to see any of my videos. Coming up this Saturday, we have got an interview with the boy, Hold the Ball. Shout out to him. Thank you so much for putting me back on your platform, bro. We're going to talk about the Group A of World Cup. So get excited of the Rugby League World Cup. We're going to talk about it. And yeah, let's get straight into it anyway. Take it easy, guys.